Hey YouTubers and everybody, this is Mac Mikey coming at you today. I actually just got back from the Mac store. I was picking up a couple items from the Indulge line. I picked up the Guilty Morsel eyeshadow. I also picked up the Beluga yesterday. But I wanted to play around with an eye because I did get a couple new brushes. The 266 being the thin eyeliner brush that everybody that I know has it, raves about it. And I also went ahead and got the 217, which is their regular blender brush. Now I do have the 286, which is the mineralized blender brush, but the 217 picks up a lot more product and blends out better for you. So just a quick review kind of on those brushes, and I thought we would do an eye real fast, just so we can see how those brushes are working. Actually, just got back from the dentist and I'm perspiring a little bit so, from the pain medications, but we're going to go ahead and start out with the MAC white paint stick and just go ahead and blend that out. This is an amazing base. It's better than any base that I've ever used. You can use the cheapest eyeshadow in the world and it will blend perfectly, and all your colors are going to pigment a heck of a lot better with this white paint stick. So I just kind of, as you're seeing, tapped it on directly with the stick and then blended it out with my hand. And so that's what it looks like. It comes in a 7-gram container. These are $21. There's that much product in there. And it's absolutely phenomenal. Actually, it looks like it's sweating too, just because it's so very hot in Colorado today. So I wanted to play around with blues because I'm wanting to use a pigment, and this is from the Hey Sailor Boy, I think was the collection called. But it's this pigment right here. I've had it for quite a while. It's in Navel Blue, and you know, I'm a big fan of blues, so I was going to use my, gosh, I can't remember the name of it, Neru, which is another magnificent blue from MAC. So what I'm going to do first, though, is I'm going to go ahead and get a neutral shade blended into my crease. A matte. I always start out with the matte neutral, at least as of lately, in my crease line. So for that, I'm going to go into the MAC 275, which is their angled blender brush. I'm going to be using the Naked palette, and I'm just going to use the Naked color. So let me get my mirror lit up here. And being that I am a little bit older, I'm in my 30s, and that I have hooded lids and, you know, my skin on my eyes are starting to thin, I go above my crease, especially with the hooded lids. This really makes a big difference when you've got those hooded lids. So I'm just taking that matte Naked color and blending it right into my crease. This will be a great base for colors that are going to go on top of it and to blend them out. And incidentally, you know, you don't want to use, especially as you're getting older, you do not want to use all shimmers or ultra shimmers in your eye. It's really going to show all the wrinkles. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to figure out what color I want as my base. Now I also pulled out an Alice and Olivia pigment. This is called Later Period, and let's just take a quick look at it. I'll say this is like a darker, almost a black. Yeah, it's a darker with, it's almost like a, it's a super dark blue, almost a black with blue sparkles in it. So yeah, that's not what I'm wanting to use as my base for this. I'm wanting a really light blue. I'm trying to think which palette is going to be best for that. I'm just going to go into a generic palette. I'm going to grab my Good Karma brush from Urban Decay. I do also have the MAC eyeshadow brush, which is the 242. It's starting to rub off, but yeah. So I'm going to take just a light blue, the lightest blue that you can find, and I'm tapping that into that white. And again, it's going to make these pigments a heck of a lot better and blend out so flawlessly for you. But I'm already at 5 minutes. I've been chitter-chattering most of this, so start getting some work done on it. Alright, so bringing it up just a little bit higher on the outer corner. Right. Sorry, no, I'm a terrible, terrible smoker. I'm quitting very soon. My dentist was yelling at me, as has my doctor been, so I need to quit. I gave myself 90 days. So we shall see how successful I am in this. Alright, so I'm going to go into just a little bit of a darker blue. This one has a little more shimmer. I'm just going to tap that on the outside right here. And my lighting is okay, but it's definitely not where it needs to be. You can tell the contrast in the camera is a little off, and that's because I have adjusted that so that you guys can see what it is and see the colorations a little bit better. I'm going to pull that across the lid, maybe about halfway, and then I'm going to start blending it the final 2/3 in to that light blue until you get a nice transition and gradients of color. Alright, so I've got it like that. I think I'm just going to take the MAC 286. This is the mineralized blender. It just doesn't pick up a lot of product. But it is absolutely great for the mineral eyeshadows. Just do a little bit of blending like that so you don't have a harsh line. And then I'm going to go into my Nehru. And I'm going to use my brand new 217. I'll pick up just a little bit of product, not a heck of a lot. And just start going into that crease line on top of that brown. And then right into the corner, a little socket there. I'm just kind of spinning it a little bit in there. Alright, so pick up more product. And whenever I'm working with new brushes, new colors, anything like that, I kind of use that old adage that my mom taught me with cooking, where you can always add to, but you can never take out. So always start with smaller amounts, and then you can always add to, but you can never take away. So I'm just doing some circular motions. Blend that down just a smidge and up just a smidge, like so. And this is a phenomenal blender brush. Very, very, very happy with it. I'm kind of becoming a brush snob, especially with the Real Techniques brushes that Jennifer O'Neill sent me. I absolutely love those. Jennifer sent me those. She donated to my AIDS walk, and she is getting married soon, so I wanted to go get her something extra special from Estee Lauder, but they were out of it, so I had to pre-order it. It'll be in on Sunday of next week, so as soon as I get that, I'm going to be sending out her package, which I'm super, super excited for, to send it out. But I wanted to get some really nice stuff in this one for her, so, oof, that one popped a little bit when I pulled it off. Alright, so this is the Navel Blue. And I'm using that MAC 266. I'm just going from the bottom lash line straight up to the flick. And being a pigment, you do end up with a little bit of fallout if you get too much on your brush. So what I'm doing is I'm really just tapping it off of the lid. And yeah, this is a phenomenal brush. It's super, super fine. Super, super thin. So you can get flawless eyeliner lines with this brush. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my new 217 and blend that pigment up. I'm going to kind of stipple it. And what I'm going to do here at the end is I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup with a wipe because I don't like the way the shape of it came out. I want it more up. Right, so I've got it like that. What I'm going to do is grab a wipe. Here they are. I'm using the ones that Miss Jen O'Neill sent me because I just ran out of my Neutrogena ones. I do like these. They have almost a menthol kind of smell to them, but they're called Off Your Face. And what I do with this is just a straight up like that. So then I can do a nice cat eye with this. I wanted to do the cat eye just because I have this brush to help with that. Yeah, this is like Michelle said. She said this was the best $20 she ever spent when it came to cosmetics. I'm tending to agree. This is a phenomenal brush. It's just so thin and so fine. You're going to be able to do super great precision work. I was loving the brush that I got in the Real Techniques. This super fine brush is called the Detailer brush. And I do really, really love this brush as well. So I'm just going to use this to take that flick that I did at the end and blend that all in. I'll go into my blender brush a little bit. So I've ended up with something kind of like so. This by no means the most perfect eye, but I wasn't really wanting to do it perfect. I had nothing really planned. Just grabbing some of the Naked Virgin for a highlighting color. Bringing that down like so. So you get a really great gradient of color. And it's blending flawlessly. Love this brush. My sweating is a little bit of an issue, but can't really help that. When it comes to pain medications, that is my side effect. Alright, so a little bit more of the naked. Just into the inner corner like that. Wow. And this was just a really quick, free-handed, no-planned eye. And it's turning out really, really well, and that's just because I have some amazing brushes to work with. I'll pick up a little bit more of that blue. And just have 3 fingers on it, very, very lightly. Just using the end of the brush. I found when I was beginning, I'd press hard on my brushes and really try to work them in, and you know, I've found as I've worked more and more and trained more and more that a lighter touch is really, really what you want. So I'm just going into the mineral blending brush real quick. Just doing a little bit of blending touch-up. I've got that blue liner on, and because I had such a phenomenal brush, it's super fine, and I'm very, very, very pleased with that. Alright, so got it like so, and I mean, honestly, that's how I would finish this eye. Just want to get that back in there. You know, maybe we'll try a little bit of this other color here. This is called Later. Sometimes, you know, if you pick up too much pigment or whatever, I usually can put it onto my hand and work with it that way. I'm just going to use this color to darken up. It's almost like a purplish. Do a little hand blending. See if that's showing up to you. So you can see it's got the kind of blue sparkles in it, yet it remains a darker, almost a black. I just kind of wanted to define out a little bit more the crease and the end of the cat flick. Cat eye flick. Alright, so last thing I would do, and I know I pulled it out. It's got to be right in front of my face and I'm just not seeing it. Oh, my eyebrow kit, there it is. Too Faced Brow Envy. I'm just going to clean off the 266. Just be very gentle when you're cleaning your brushes too. You just really want to treat those fibers, those hairs, just with It's the most delicate hand, you know. Alright, so I'm going to go into the brunette in here. Comes with a highlighter, a wax, a blonde, and a brunette. And my brow's really, really wet. Yeah, it's really easy to do your brows with this brush as well. So, you know, I asked Allison, because they do have like 3 types. There's one that came out with the Indulge line, and I was going to get that one. And I said, well, Allison, you know, what do you think? Which brush should I get? And she said, get this one. So, I always trust Allison. She never steers me wrong. Just going to grab a little more of that virgin color to fill in. Fill in that top a little bit. I think actually with this one I'm going to take the Good Karma brush and plane it off a little bit. And go back into that naked because this is more flat. I'm going to get right up against those browns. Alright, so just a real quick blue eye, just to kind of really focus on and show you the brushes from MAC and the difference that I get out of them. My 2 new ones being the 286 and the 217. Yeah, they're phenomenal brushes, especially the 266. If there's one brush you buy from MAC, I would get this one, and then for the second one, I would get your 217 blender brush. Amazing results. So, yeah, kids, that's it for today. This is Mac Mikey. Have a good one. Bye.